In 1974, Minnie Riperton released her second album, the Stevie Wonder produced Perfect Angel, and from it, the title track. Okay, beautiful arrangement so far. The major seventh chords, a blurry, misty, kind of glowy tone of the Fender, some rattle of percussion, giving sort of an outdoor tropical vibe, dim lighted in the way, dim, kind of lowered, sunsetty vibe.
What we're making is history, fooling impossibility.
Hear that smooth, soft bass line just kind of floating along under.
Making love not a fantasy. Love
More felt than heard.
is true. Love is you.
Oh, the rattle of the percussion, it's coming at me from both sides. It's just so like snaky, so kind of like a little like zigzagged, like striped snakes almost.
Making storybook dreams come true. Feeling just enough love for two.
Hear that, and really light, kind of muted guitar, cocktail guitar.
There's such magic in being with you.
I noticed that in the mix, basically the regular like electric instruments are all kind of like muted and blurred in the overall sonic makeup, and yet the percussion is like really trebly and kind of frontal.
It's true. Loving you.
Oh, that is such a compelling chord sequence right there. The way, like that bed. Okay, paired with that bedroomy voice that she's giving this chorus, like the kind of sighing, sort of, and airy vocals delivery, and the way it lands on, the way it lands on F major 7, as she sings Perfect Angel for the second time. Let's catch up with the lyrics. What we're making is history, fooling impossibility, making love not a fantasy. Love is true. Love is true. Okay, so fooling impossibility, that's an interesting way to follow up the first line with. Meaning that their love is more than either party would have imagined. It defies expectation to both of them of what they at least went about into the world expecting. Yeah, and further affirmed by the third line, making love not a fantasy. More on this later. Oh, and I love also the quivering. Although she's she's showing more her kind of mid-range in a lot of this track.
Long ago we played hide go seek, kissing under the apple tree.
Hear that now that we got some tinkly piano in the mix, adding a little bit of sparkle.
Who could tell me that this would bring?
This just has one of the most unique, percussive arrangements to it. The way it's mixed, and as far as secondary instruments go, it's and that is so much more prominent than the main body of the track. Let's see, track on track B1, as we have things laid out in Discogs, we've got Ollie E. Brown on drums, and guitar played by Marlo Henderson, and bass played by Reggie McBride.
To you, you to me, yeah. Since the start, you have been
Okay, now this Reggie McBride character plays both bass and there's a picture of him in stand-up bass. No solo albums to his credit, but played on albums by Tommy Bolin and played on that 1977 Lazarus album. Yeah, that fellow from another Jamaican fellow that I just came across. That one, and interesting. Also played on albums by Chris Spedding and Christopher Rainbow, the Scottish pop guy who was associated with Alan Parsons. So this guy's been quite over the map. Also played on Phoebe Snow, yeah, how timely. And Billy Preston, oh, really timely, considering I've covered both of those in the last week. Steve Hillage, Motivation Radio, wow, I like the diversity in his credits. And he also played on Stevie Wonder Presents Cyrita, which came out the same year as Perfect Angel.
Giving infinite paradise. Every night I wanna thank him twice.
God, the percussion, it's coming out of both speakers individually. I just love that rattle.
Your love, your sweet love.
Oh, hear her voice just like quiver up like that. Let's cover more of the lyrics. Making storybook dreams come true. Feeling just enough love for two. There's such magic in being with you, 'cause it's true, loving you. Okay, we know, you know the chorus, I'm pretty sure by now. Long ago we played hide-go-seek, kissing under the apple tree. Those two words often kind of leap right out. Who could tell me that this would bring me to you, you to me, yeah. Oh, okay, so I guess we can surmise that the two people involved in this romance had known each other since childhood. And so now that they've reached adulthood, they realize that they were meant to be together as lovers as well. Doesn't always happen that way, but sometimes it does. Yeah. As a matter of fact, about 6 years ago, I saw this news item about like the then record holder for the longest married couple, or one of them anyway, like had known each other since like 5 years old. Since the start, you have been my love, giving infinite paradise. Every night, I want to thank him twice for your love. By him, I'm pretty sure she is referring to the Lord Almighty. Your sweet love, giving infinite paradise. That's, yeah, some clever turns of phrase in this, very evocative and yeah. I have to say, when I was a bit younger, more flamboyant, more kind of androgynous looking, I used to kind of really do the kind of diva moves in front of the mirror, along with this chorus, back like long before the beard. It's almost like a different life now. Back when I was wearing like mesh tops and like Bakelite jewelry and makeup and all, and like head wraps and like frazzled, kind of like spunky, bouffoned hair. Yeah, me in another lifetime. That hi-hat is really giving a lot of like rhythmic, it's adding to the feel, it's adding to the kind of sliding sexiness, like it's creating kind of like a dancing, like a close, intimate dancing feel. Or sliding, like two lovers just kind of sliding into it. Yeah, this is one of the most bedroomy choruses I can think of. Like, alongside what Sylvia Robinson was doing around this time. drum roll just a moment ago. Yeah, the drumming is really taking command here. And the guy we have, Ollie E. Brown. Let's see. Oh wow, great photo of him. Oh yeah, got a great fro going in the Discogs main photo. 424 credits according to Discogs. No solo albums or band lead credits, but let's see. And played with a range of artists. Let's see, Deco, Tracy Spencer, Tyrone Perry. These are 80s era credits. LaToya Jackson. Going back to the 1970s, the Blackbirds. Oh, and was for a time in the band Radio. Yeah, Ray Parker Jr.'s like slick soul funk band. Put out some good albums in the late 70s. Firefox, Ray Parker Jr. of course, James Ingram's "It's Your Night" album. Really, yeah, some good things to bookmark. Some things I actually hadn't stumbled upon. Going back a bit earlier, Clarence Carter's "Real" album from the same year. As a matter of fact, from 1974 alone, he has got credits on albums by the Persuasions, Joe Cocker, Clarence Carter, of course, Stevie Wonder, and Cyrita. That makes sense that there's quite a bit of player overlap between the Cyrita's second album and Minnie Riperton's second album, because both had heavily featured heavy involvements from Stevie Wonder. Even if the two albums, the two Cyrita style and Minnie Riperton style differ quite a bit, and musically, and vocally. And let's see. Oh, a few more from '74. Bill Cosby, Popcorn Wiley, and Lonette McKee. I'm not familiar with her at all. It sounds kind of like oh, it's a soul. I was almost thinking, judging by the name, I was going to assume it was a Nashville artist. No, yeah, major 7. I think they're alternating between regular chords and like, yeah, like C, Z. F major 7, F, E. And remember why I told you about major 7th chords in other video, in case you haven't, because I say it sporadically in different videos, but major 7th chords have kind of a slanted eye read bedroomy effect, because you take the octave tonic and you lower it half a step, and it just gives it this kind of dreamy, blurry, kind of seductive quality. That's great, and it was used a lot in 70s songs, particularly 70s ballads, as a harmonic variation device that made key changes more juicy during this era, and it was one of the arts that was like lost over time. And the backup vocals, I must give credit that they're really helping like illuminate the chorus, and they are sung. I believe Cyrita Wright is one of the voices that we're hearing, but I don't have the credits to that before me because they're on Discogs. The way her voice just kind of like soars up on the first two lines of the chorus, and then just kind of lies sideways almost on the like just reclines on the second two lines as she hits that F major 7. Yeah, Minnie Riperton with "Perfect Angel" from the album of the same name. The song itself, written by Stevie Wonder, it's one of his exclusive writing credits on the album, as is this next track I want to play, "Take a Little Trip." Kind of a cocktail guitar, well, very cocktail guitar tone and chords.
Take a little trip through your mind.
Yeah, a lot of chromatic moves and such, and a slight, lead bit there on what sounds like a hollow body.
And explore it.
Once again, a major 7.
Take another trip on a magic carpet ride.
And once again, we got that driving hi-hat and an overall kind of like blurry quality to it, kind of like dim lighted. Yeah, I could picture kind of like a red environment, dim lighted, with with like satiny furniture and stuff.
Take a little trip through your mind.
Okay, take a little trip for your mind. I believe she's encouraging us to fantasize.
And explore it. Take a closer look at the you you're trying to hide.
Okay, let's catch up on the lyrics here. Take a little trip through your mind and explore it. Take another trip on a magic carpet ride. Take a little trip through your mind and explore it. Take a closer look at you you're trying to hide. You're the one who always wants to have your way, and like the sky, it's you whose feelings change with every day, and you think there's righteousness in all you say, and you won't try and reach inside. Oh, so this on this track, the person in question is trying to make a point. It's not quite the escapist, seductive message that one may have expected from just noticing like the key lines in the chorus. This is about trying to get someone else to loosen up and just be more human and be more positive. And yeah, it seems like she's kind of facing down someone who's been a negative presence.
You're the one who always wants to have your way. And like the sky, it's you.
And notice how the drumming, now we're getting some like cymbal nest here.
Feelings change with every day.
I notice how the guitar was slightly kind of like doubling up on her vocal cadences, which is some hard to kind of like place or decipher. Like.
And you think there's righteousness in all you say.
Oh, one of her epic notes, where she holds it and just. Oh yeah, she's giving us her like extended note, showing definitely giving it her utmost there. And I wonder actually what is her record for note holding? Is she does she have like a note that's like up there?
Take a little trip through your mind.
Okay, maybe there might not be. Correct me if I'm wrong. There might not be a note quite as long as, say, the one that Bill Withers holds on his 1977 hit, or that Melba Moore held on her 1982 album, on one of the songs off that album anyway. Not that it really matters, but it's just it's kind of interesting because when those moments happen, you just notice them. It's like.
Take another trip on a magic carpet ride.
Actually, I'd probably remember if I had heard something like that. There have been a few of those that I didn't quite go in remembering, and that I'll suddenly like, and that's kind of like one of the genuine like first or where on camera I'll be just like floored by the way that one of these singers holds a note.
Take a little trip through your mind.
I love that change right there.
Explore it. Take a closer look at the you.
Yeah, this is one of those songs I kind of wish I had like an acoustic guitar on me right now to like work out this sequence.
Trying to hide. You're the one.
I like the rawness to the drums. Yeah, that you hear that snare right there, and
Who says the things you don't believe?
it actually seems to be kind of a simple, a rather compact drum set too. But just it gives you what the song needs.
And when you need to be, you can't distinguish you from me. And you think.
Let's catch up with the lyrics here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I've read the chorus already. You're the one who says the things you don't believe, and when you need to be, you can't distinguish you from me, and you think your eyes have overall control. No, your mind can't see for blinding your soul. So that third line really intrigues me. And you think your eyes have overall control. I'm trying to like pinpoint what kind of behavior that might represent. Like a person who thinks that he or she can stare others down and intimidate others just on like sort of like by giving someone a certain look. Or someone who is convinced that their own interpretation of reality, the world as they see it, is the official, objective rendering of facts, or like is just the gospel truth. Okay, take a little, and then it repeats the chorus after that.
Your eyes have overall control.
Once again, giving us some vocal range there, like. You know, in a lot of videos, I've said that I've pointed out how certain singers, they just kind of ooze it really effortlessly and naturally, and it's just like this incredible gift that they have. With Minnie Riperton, I'm getting a sense that she's really exerting quite a lot vocally, putting a lot of effort, going the extra mile, and really pushing herself. But that's also a good thing. I mean, both approaches are wonderful. She and in doing so, she has like a certain type of voice and way of singing, and way of like oozing and stretching, and you know, certain words that no one else has. It's unmistakably her.
And exploring. Take another trip on a magic carpet ride.
There are certain like notes in each one of these chords that there's like an extra note, it seems like, in each landing chord that adds a certain like harmonic nuance that just makes the chord so kind of like dreamy, misty, compelling.
Take a little trip through your mind.
On every one of these landing chords where she stretches out the final vowel, like whether it be mind, for some reason I just keep on picturing her like, you know, like putting her hand through her hair and kind of it's just that, you know, and with kind of like a slanted eye, you know, before it's just that overall kind of seductive bedroomy vibe. I can't help it.
And exploring. Take a closer look at the you.
did I introduce our guitarist here? Marlo Henderson. No, I didn't. He has 224 credits according to Discogs, and he was in High Voltage and Maxane. Yeah, two very good bands of the 70s. Yeah, the High Voltage album from 72 is one of my favorite R&B records of that year. Yeah, soul funk. And then Maxane put out kind of a run of good albums, and yeah, three albums, and then also spun the Mondre project from 1977. Yeah, and he's also appeared. Oh, he's credited with, he has vocal credits and instrumental credits. Played on A Message to the People by Buddy Miles, several Buddy Miles albums, the first several LaBelle albums, DJ Rogers, Mary McCreary, the Cyrita album, appropriately, Johnny Hammond's Forever Taurus, the first album by Kelly Patterson, or no, her second one actually. Yeah, her first, Kelly Patterson did one vocal jazz record for Black Jazz Records, and then did three like soul funk albums in the late 70s. Denise Williams' Songbird, yeah, her second album. And let's see, yeah, several more. The Emotions Rejoice, yeah. Yeah, a whole list of good credits here. Hear that final note just oozing so high. Yeah, that was Minnie Riperton with Take a Little Trip. And let's see, any further credits? We heard, the backing vocalists heard on this. I don't see Cyrita Wright's name here, but I do see the names of, let's see, Denise Williams, Lanny Groves, Shirley Brewer, and Yvonne Wright. Yeah, and Denise Williams, I believe, was kind of like a protege of Minnie Riperton around that time. Now Williams, of course, Niecy, as she's nicknamed, ultimately, had a kind of similar, like, high octave quivering type range, and is probably like the closest vocal comparison one could make to Minnie Riperton. There is a comment left on Genius.com. Someone wrote, Take a Little Trip is the third song of Minnie's album Perfect Angel. It deserved way more attention than it got because it has a lot of meaning, a lot of meaning behind the song. Minnie is basically telling every listener to take a little trip through your inner thoughts in your mind, brainstorm. Be very adventurous, explore new things, be positive. Very positive vibe from Minnie. The deep thinkers should be able to relate to this masterpiece written by Stevie Wonder. I took it to kind of have a slightly more, that it was like a positive person confronting a negative person, and maybe, in some sense, putting her foot down toward the just rather toxic negativity of a certain individual. That's kind of, I thought it had there were in the verses slightly more serious moments, and where she was actually telling this individual, like, enough is enough. Anyway, yeah, two great songs from Minnie Riperton's Perfect Angel album, both written by Stevie Wonder, who co-produced the album under the pseudonym or the moniker Scorbu Productions, yeah, which he ran with a few other parties, Stevlin Morris and such. And anyway, yeah, the tracks Take a Little Trip and Perfect Angel. And what more can I say? Just two very blurry, misty, kind of beautiful, like glowing, dim-lighted, tinkly at times, tropical in places, songs by one of the most vocally like wide octave ranging, you know, vocally gifted and seductive singers of the 1970s and really of all time, Minnie Riperton. For more Rubies and Sapphires from her catalog, see the directory of albums by American soul artists linked in the description below for Red Hot Tracks and Purples from this album, the one before it, and the three after it. Yes, Minnie, great talent whose life was tragically cut short 5 years after the release of this album. Like and subscribe and follow me on social media, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard, the arrangements, the instrumentation, the chord sequences, the overall vibe of each track, and most importantly, the wonderful vocals of Minnie Riperton. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air-traveled trimaximalist, signing off.